If you're lying to me, I will kill you.
It Comes at Night is a 2017 American psychological horror film that is written and directed by Trey Shults, and it starred Joel Edgerton, Christopher Abbott, Carmen Ejogo, Kelvin Harrison Jr., and Riley Keough. And basically the story centers around a family of 3, and they're held up in a house during what is seen to be a viral outbreak. And one day a man breaks into the house seeking refuge and food for his own family. They agree to let the other family move in, and despite the best intentions of both families, paranoia and mistrust boil over as the horrors outside awaken something hidden and monstrous. So basically my initial reactions to the trailer, it had me pumped to see the movie opening day, and I avoided the trailers and the TV spots to avoid any possible spoilers, and I'm glad I did, because from what I heard, the trailers do show a lot of key moments. Now getting to some of the positives of the film would be, first off, the script, the way the scenes are directed, and the minor level of tension that is kept throughout the movie. That is all due to a great script. Again, thank you so much, Mr. Shults. Again, one of the other strong positives about the movie was the way the level of mystery around the house, the different families, and even the outside world was still kept. Basically, by the time you got to the end, you're still left curious as to what's going on. Now, we'll go ahead and say that the movie is not as scary or horrific as you think, and I went in thinking this movie was going to scare me, and it did, but in a completely different way, kind of sort of like with Don't Breathe. Other positives include the characters and their genuine reactions to each other. Nothing seemed faked or too unrealistic for this film. Joel Edgerton's character of Paul, basically he was this rough, tough looking guy who came off as excessively paranoid and cautious, but beneath all of that, you could tell that this guy was a good man who cares about his family. And that's good to see in films. You have a lot of father figures in these films where you try to buy into the relationship that they actually care about their family, but a lot of times it doesn't come off that way as realistic. It comes off as a fake father relationship. And again, I thought his initial relationship with his wife was kind of awkward, and it seemed like they were together out of necessity because of the outbreak that apparently is going on around them, but not out of love necessarily. But as the film goes on, you can see that he truly loves his wife and is very protective of her. And so getting to his wife, played by Carmen Ejogo, she's clearly the mother, you know, figure. She's a stereotypical mother. She worries about both of them getting hurt, but by no means is she afraid to pick up a gun and start jumping into action. And she even has to make some tough calls that I thought, you know, Ejogo was able to play up very well in those specific scenes. Now getting to our main character, we have the character of Travis. I dug this young man's performance, and I think he has a bright future ahead of him. Like, again, his performance carried us throughout this film, because basically the scenes that he's in, we're watching the story unfold through his eyes, meaning like what he feels, we essentially feel too, and that's what the director is portraying to us. And you know, the relationship that he had with his father was a strong relationship, and it was built on love, lots of trust. And I mean, Edgerton's character, you know, basically considers his son as his second in command next to his mother. So if it comes to protecting his mother, he's gonna have his son right there in the forefront. Like when they have to go outside and venture out and do certain things, he's strapped and he's ready to fight right alongside his father. And I like the interactions that he has, and since he's our main character, he has the most interactions with all of our characters. And so getting to the character of Will, he's almost kind of similar to Edgerton's character, to where, you know, he cares about his family, is willing to do anything to protect him. He's good for a couple of laughs here and there. And then of course his relationship with his wife Kim seemed realistic, but it seemed like there might be some secrets going on between them. And you know, Kim, his wife, played by Riley Keough, basically she seemed like she was hiding her fair share of secrets throughout the film. And there's even some awkward scenes throughout the movie where she's basically like implying that she wasn't completely satisfied in her relationship. But again, I'm not going to get into that too much because that would spoil too much. Getting into some of the negatives I had, the only real negative that I could really think of would be maybe false advertising. Like the trailers lead you to believe that this is a horror film, like a straight up horror film, that you're going to get lots of jump scares and lots of things are going to happen. Not really. I mean, it's a different kind of horror, kind of like with Don't Breathe. Don't Breathe definitely had some horror elements to it. But whereas that film was more so built up on the blind man and these kids trying to get out. This is more about a family trying to stay inside the house. But you know, getting back to some of my final thoughts and my score, I overall thought the film was great. I enjoyed the film, and as far as the score goes, I'm actually going really high with this film. I was thoroughly impressed with it, more so than The Mummy this weekend. So I'm giving the film an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was a great, different type of horror film, and I recommend that you guys go check it out and go see it for yourselves. But what did you think of It Comes at Night? Did you like it? Have you seen it yet? Post your thoughts down in the comment section below. And hey, while you're still watching, why not check out the review I did for the aforementioned Mummy film? Or if you're into Dragon Ball discussions, why not check out the video discussion I did on whether or not Khalifa and Keough will eventually become this couple within Dragon Ball Super. Or if you're still not interested, why not check out my playthrough of Ultimate Ninja Storm 4? Either way, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and share this video with a friend. And as always, please remember to become a savage, stay a savage, and peace out, y'all.